Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to J3 Entertainment, where y'all about to get that live and real movie review.
All the time.
For those out there that don't know who I am J3.
I'm running Shogun, Ninja Assassin. Terror.
What's up, dog?
Chilling. Movie time.
We back in the building, y'all. It's such a great day, man.
I feel great.
So many movies, man. 2021 is hitting.
Got a lot of reviews to get to. We got more movies to watch now. Theaters is open. Winning right now.
I'm loving the theater experience. I'm loving this new structure they got going on. You guys understand how it makes me feel, because I know when I choose my seat, there is no one around me, sitting next to me, bothering me, kicking my seat, asking me questions, walking near me, walking with their knees. I don't have to move.
Zero interruptions.
I'm just there.
Yeah.
By myself.
It feels like home now, even during the pandemic. Like, it's very quarantined, but it's still safe.
Bruh.
You still enjoy it. It's great.
It feels just like it felt right before the pandemic hit.
Right.
When I went to watch Bloodshot. Wasn't nobody in there but me and C. Smith.
Oh, dope. See? Just
us.
like home. Just like home. It's great.
It was tight, man. It was tight. Like, yo, it was like two people ahead of us. Like, oh, anyway.
Okay.
But we're here, y'all, and I know why y'all here. We are here to review Spiral.
From the Book of Saul.
For those out there that don't know how we review movies, like to talk about the good and the bad, and we like to just dive in and have fun with the scenes. Ronin.
Do you want to play a game?
Yes, I want to play a game.
All right. Let's do it.
Are we going good or are we going bad?
We're going bad.
Really?
Yes.
Really? I don't think it's safe, but all right.
If you're worthy of the body you possess.
We are in there, bro.
Yeah, we in there, bro. We in there.
We do voiceovers.
Oh, yeah. I was channeling my inner John Kramer from the original series. Yeah. I was trying. It was there. It was there. Yeah.
Ronin, we're going bad, man.
Yeah.
So, where do we start?
I'll give it a little quick bad. So, the traps I don't feel like are earned, because it doesn't give the victim a chance to try to win or escape or redeem themselves. I just felt like it just happened, and they were set up to die from the beginning.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I have to agree on that.
Yeah.
A bad for me, honestly, was just the whole dynamic of the story.
Okay.
I thought the story was bad. Like, the concept was dope. The story just did not work. It was just, it felt crammed. It felt like they were trying to make a Saw movie.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. Just like with the traps. It's like they're trying to do this. It was like, only two people need to really die, tell you the truth. Just take the foot off the throttle.
Yeah.
Give me the detective story. Let me find out who Chris Rock, what he's about. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what's going on. It just felt crammed. Scenarios just did not make sense.
That's the key word, scenario. Stuff was just happening.
Just happening.
Gotcha.
Like,
Yeah.
why?
Random.
Ain't you trained? Like, you know what I mean? We don't talk about the scenes, but it's like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah.
That's one of my bads.
It's disjointed, for sure.
What else you got?
Certain supporting characters just kind of felt like filler. Mm-hmm. Like, you're bad because we need somebody to be bad. Okay, but why?
You're a rat.
I did everything you asked, but you're still bad. Okay.
You're a rat because you told on a bad cop who shot somebody innocent for no reason, and we all hate you.
But if I did it, no one else would. Then our unit is destroyed. So I did right. You guys should have my back. But none of you have my back. So now, like, you're all pretty much villains now. It's like, dang, okay. Now you can really play games with them, but it's like, how do you execute that now? Because they all really didn't care, and they weren't team players to begin with. So at this point, you're just suspecting, like, it could be anyone at this point. So it's not even constructive with this who done it, even though the element's there, but it's not properly structured.
Like, it's bad when you, because this is the type of movie Saw is. So the elements that make Saw special were the bad parts of the movie.
Yeah.
So the story, the scenarios, the traps, it was bad. Like, it's too much of a grind. It got boring because you knew it was going to happen. It was very predictable. You knew this fool was going to get got. You knew it was going to happen because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, the scenarios, very predictable.
Okay.
And it took the fun out of it for me.
Okay.
Like, I came to watch torture porn, and I just knew it was like, they was like, okay, baby, calm down. We gonna set it up for you. Get your heart ready, so you won't have no heart attack, and we're gonna prep you for this horror that you finna get.
Right.
And it's gonna be very mild. So You ready? Okay, we're gonna go in this dark room. Okay. Tiptoe.
Still on niggas, by the way.
Tiptoe.
It's positive in there. I'm gonna get to it.
Tiptoe. Okay, here it go. Oh, you're caught. I'm like, damn, that's it.
Roll credits.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
got
a bad, and that's pretty
Okay.
much the bad for me.
Okay. Because you open up a void, but we're still in bad though, right?
We're still in bad.
Okay. Oh. So
He thought of something else.
yeah. It just came. So
It just no, go ahead.
the voice of the copycat, the new Jigsaw, he acted like a rookie and he sounded like a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't menacing. This seemed like it was his very first rodeo, but they made it seem like he was doing this for quite some time. For him to be a copycat, you have been following Jigsaw, so if you wanted to be like the best, you should have learned from him. You still were an amateur that was putting these scenarios together, and he was kind of very sloppy with his techniques, and I'm surprised other detectives really didn't figure it out. And it makes for, cliche storytelling to keep the movie going. I get it.
Yeah.
So
A lot of that in this.
whatever. But this was an amateur Jigsaw, and he had great motives, but it's just like he did not execute them right, because this is the one time where I was like, okay, but why this way? But I understand what he was doing.
I get
It's just he did not execute them the proper way that the original Jigsaw would.
Mm-hmm.
But you're supposed to be a copycat of that guy. So you should have further expanded his whole mythology and philosophy, because John had philosophy and he had a reason for doing everything he was doing. He was going after people who didn't value life.
Mm-hmm.
He was going after people who were crooked to other people. And this new copycat was going after corruption. I was like, okay, this is tight.
I like that idea.
But the way he was picking and the way he was strategizing, it was just like, again, he was a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
He was new to it, and he was a new cop too, so it kind of made sense. I guess.
Yeah.
It played into his character.
For me, I think that's it for my bads are going to start going into these scenes.
Okay.
Because that's what really was the cringing factor for me.
All right.
Let's get into the good. One of the good things about this movie was very unexpected. It was Chris Rock's performance.
Yes.
I thought Chris Rock did a very promising job. I was impressed. Chris Rock has a very unique voice, and when you hear it, you laugh. But I didn't laugh. Right. I really took him serious. Granted, the costume designs were trash when it comes to the past. When they went back prequel-wise, I was like, that shit look funny as hell.
Is this 90s?
Yeah, this fool Samuel Jackson had that mustache, bro. I was like, oh my God.
I was like, I'll run with it.
He had the whole little mustache with the backwards hat.
Yeah. Yup.
He had the Ronin look. Oh my God.
Hey.
Oh my God.
It is what it is. They had to make him look old, so we put the mustache on him, And then Chris Rock had the New Jack City look. It's hilarious. I think that was perfect. I thought that was intentional.
Oh my God.
That was intentional for fans of black cinema. I think that's what they were doing.
Bro, you had your mustache and your hat, bro.
It wasn't a Marvel one, though, but he did have a hat, though.
All right, well, Chris Rock was tight, man. Oh my God, I just realized that.
I'm going to jump off of that, too. I think Chris Rock really stood out as far as behind the scenes, production-wise. You could feel his energy very much involved as an executive producer and writer. And I'm a little bit biased because I'm a big Chris Rock fan. He's in my top 10 of comedians and stuff. And I like what he brought to Saw. What he brought to Saw was something that was needed. And there was a bit of the levity and the humor. And then he played it straight as a straightforward detective, which was cool. The comedy comes from a real place, because you got to understand that the whole idea and concept of Saw is very absurd and ridiculous. It's over the top. And we finally got a character that comes in and has fun with it while still acknowledging the horrors of the world that's going on within the Saw universe. But the comedy comes from a real place, because it's a real person that has demons with things that's going on in his past, his present, and then him being a comedian. Comedians come from dark places. Yeah. So Chris Rock was able to fulfill that humor because he's Chris Rock, and because he actually, followed the series. So he was able to merge the two. Even his dialogue and the lines he wrote, how he talked about his favorite movies and incorporated it with his life. That was good stuff. And again, it gives you a breather from the terror that's going on, giving you some laughs and levity, because again, Saw is absurd. And they addressed it in this new installment. Right. Because the other movies, we're so in it and it's so serious. It's like, bro, these are traps. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is kind of crazy. Yeah. So I like that they brought that lighthearted tone, and then they tried to bring some different styles by making it a straight detective movie. It doesn't really feel like a Saw movie until somebody really gets captured, but they were really trying to go that homicide detective route, kind of like Seven.
Yeah.
And that was kind of an interesting take too, because I was used to the formula of traps, okay, suspense, traps, okay, setup, okay, traps, narrative. It's not a lot of that. It's more homicide detectives trying to figure out
In their life, their everyday
who's
life,
crooked
out.
and whatnot. So I like that aspect of it. And Chris Rock was able to bring that with his writing. So we got two new dynamics on Saw, and I thought that was really interesting, making the black person a lead in these kind of movies, because usually we're like supporting in the Saw universe.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked. He kept the movie going. Chris was the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. Chris Rock was the heart of this movie, and for the most part, the acting I thought was really good throughout the cast. Samuel Jackson was really nigga, do you want something to eat? Or, you know what I mean? He's like, yo, we never go hang out.
I could have killed you.
You feel me? Like, yo,
that energy, like Sam, yeah.
Samuel Jackson just brings a lot when he comes on scene.
I'm glad somebody answered the question, what would it be like if Sam Jackson was in a Saw movie? Thank you to the director, man, because there were so many directions I wanted his character to go, just because he's Samuel Jackson, and the possibilities of what could have been done and what could have happened. But I like the character moments and the screen time that he got, because again, he was still kind of a mystery. But it's like, if you are going to go full 100% Samuel Jackson, utilize him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I felt like he got underplayed in certain scenes. But for the most part, when he's there, he gives a great performance. It's Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
But in a Saw movie, in me as a Saw fan, I was expecting to see Sam go full on, 100, F-bomb Jackson, like maybe the possibility of he could be the killer, you know what I'm saying? Because they did kind of allude to that a little bit, and I felt cheated because I felt like he would have been the perfect one, because he had all this experience of being a detective.
He said, motherfucker, that's my son.
Yeah.
I'll kill you, bro.
Right. And I'm like, I believe it, but let's see it.
No, he was very believable. He was very believable. Chris Rock was very believable. Granted, some of the actors weren't that, it was okay. It's a Saw movie. But, for the most part, I thought the directing was really good. It panned out great scenes, shots, colors. You got to see what was going on, even though I felt I was prepped to the torture.
Gotcha.
But you did see what was going on, which I thought was a really good thing, because you didn't have to worry about, like, when you're down the tunnel, you see what's going on. You're not like, what's going on.
Right.
Granted, that could have been the boogeyman stuff pop out on you, but I thought they did a real good job on that. This movie is just, if the story, the pan outs of the traps and the motives were just good,
right,
this movie would have been really up there, man. I feel like that's what really was hurting it, because when we talk about these scenes next, you're going to understand, like, the disgust is like, it's very cringing. I thought the motive of Detective William Shank, I thought his motive was dope, because that was the cream of the crop at the end. Like, oh snap, he's been setting breadcrumbs this whole time.
Yes.
Sheesh. And the crazy thing is, my lady she told me in the middle of the movie, it's like, he's the killer. I was like, how? She was like, listen how he's talking, listen to his dialogue, listen how he's breaking stuff down. And for her to catch that, and I was like, oh wait, damn, you're right. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So his motive was just deep. It went back, what, 13 years?
Yes.
That was dope.
To when the father got killed.
I should have caught on when he said, I do this because of him.
Right.
Like, who the hell is that dude? Like, what was he like? Was he like The Rock or something in the city?
He was learning and watching, and when we got to that end part, we'll get to it. I was like, oh, okay,
that was dope.
Because at that point, I never experienced this in a Saw movie. I had to decide, am I with him or am I against him?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Let's do this.
Yeah.
Because, all right, let's do it.
That's basically what happened.
We're really tackling this. All right.
Because he needed that. It was like,
and it kept happening. So he's like, I gotta end it.
It's kind of like how it was in Kingsman Secret Service.
Right.
When it was like, his ideas is effed up, but hey, do we take some people out, or we let the world take us all out? What we do?
Right.
And that's kind of exactly, Samuel Jackson was in that too. It's kind of,
that was deep though.
let me just say this real quick. One of the coolest things about this movie is just the trailers previously of this movie. Samuel Jackson was in 2 trailers before this movie. I'm like, God, Sam was working last year.
Yes.
All right, now back on this.
Yes.
Yeah, so I thought the motive of the character William was dope. It just executed was poor. The execution was poor because overall it just felt very crammed and rushed. But let's have fun with this stuff.
Let's do it, man.
Let's get into the scenes, man. Regardless like or dislike, what's the scenes? What we got?
Opening scene. There's a criminal being chased. Professional detectives hunting them down. We don't know the circumstances other than a lady got her purse robbed. And then it leads to a subway station, and he gets picked up by the new Copycat. And we were introduced to the first trap. He's got his tongue locked into this jaw lock thing, and then there's an oncoming train coming. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't like the setup.
I mean, granted, because we don't know why, but the trap itself was cool. Like it was crazy because we never really got anything like that. Usually it's more like confined, like a laboratory, maybe underground cellar. Maybe like a room or office or an abandoned warehouse, but a subway?
Yeah.
Okay, this guy was angry, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, so you could see the aggression of where he was setting people up. So that was pretty cool. But it just kind of happened though, because again, this is the guy that's obviously a good cop or whatever it is. He was trying to do a good deed and get the lady her purse back. We're just thrown into a situation, and then he just gets picked off. Why? We don't know. But this is our introduction to the Copycat.
We got picked off because he was lying in court. He let all these people go. He kept lying.
Maybe he was paid. Who knows?
But I know. We know. Like you said, William was like, yo, you can say you lied.
Everybody in the unit,
Yeah, you're a liar. You lied to let people free, bro. Like, so I'm going to take your tongue. And we knew he was dead, but I hated that scenario. I hated that setup.
But then people were still alive in the precinct, though.
True, but I hated the situation. Look, I'm going to tell you this right now. This is why this movie was bad to me in these forms. Situations like that. You're at a event, I don't know if it's the 4th of July or whatever, and
looks like 4th of July.
And a bum, a crackhead, a basehead steals a purse. You go, hey, stop. You run after him with the gun. And then he goes down a sewer well. Nah. Let
him go.
It's just a purse at that point.
Let him go, yeah.
I'm not going down no subway,
right.
no sewer hole, unless I'm trying to see Michelangelo, Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, and maybe Master Splinter occasionally. There's no need for me to go down there. Let that bum go.
Yeah, call it a day.
And what I would have did if I directed it, I would have been just like this. Man, I'm not going down there. And I would have saw the Copycat walk by like, I need to work harder. Like, to capture these cops was too easy.
Yes.
It was pathetic.
It made them look like rookies too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what cop does that?
Was you watching the whole time? Did you have a body cam of their body cam? Like,
bruh.
Yeah.
There's a copycat out there killing people. Why would you go into a warehouse by yourself in the dark? It's black. I don't know. Why would you do that? And I'm not talking about Samuel Jackson's character. His character is the only one that made legitimate sense.
Right.
His setup made sense.
He obviously had plans. That's why we didn't see him as much.
I'm going to get on. Yeah. His made sense.
Yeah.
The old boy that got cut in the face. Why would you go in that room looking for that base head by yourself? No, forget Banks. I'm going to do it myself. You want backup? Nah, I don't need no backup. I'm that dude. Why?
Just because.
Why?
Just.
This guy's killing people.
Yeah.
Bro, we all know what happened, bro. Look, we all know how the LAPD get down, bro. If there's somebody, and I'm not gonna say the name, let's say first name and then last. Let's just say Chris D. No. Too obvious. C. Donner. When that went down,
yeah.
They went how deep? We talking hundreds, thousands of cops going after one man.
Right.
This guy's killing police. Made no sense.
Still here though,
bruh.
Yeah.
The chief of police. This is when I threw my popcorn up. I said I'm done. I'm just gonna watch the rest of this movie, and then you can go. This is when I said I'm done with this movie. When the female, the chief of police, right?
Yeah.
She says, I need to go downstairs to the data room or whatever. I need to go down there, right? First off, Usually there's somebody always in control of that. She goes down, the vault's open. Bam, vault's open. She walks in with the gun. She looks to her left, she looks to her right, she looks forward. There's a man with a pig face on with a freaking black veil over his face, right?
Yeah.
So, we're together, right? They're detectives. Right? I'm just breaking this down because this is how it broke down.
They're not. They're not.
They're detectives. Yeah. They know what they've previously seen.
Right.
Pigs, skin. At this moment, we knew that Detective Williams was dead.
Right.
Right? He was dead. Pig face, skinned, alive, dead. We all know this. Right?
Right.
So you see this figure ahead of you with a pig face on, with a gun. You go like this. Oh no, let me back up. The vote closes. Who closed the vote?
Game over.
Who closed the vote? Who closed it?
Copycat.
How? How did he close it? He's over there.
Right.
How did he close it?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
How did you get in? Yeah.
Then she shoots the vote. The bullet ricochets.
Right. Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Then he throws a gas canister. She scoots it away. He throws 5.
There's no gas mask in the station in the precinct.
It's not even about that. It's just the fact that you let this get this far. Because
I mean, at this point, but again, you said that they're professionals, so they would have these things.
I would have shot his ass up.
Yeah.
I mean, we get some, just innocent bystanders get shot up for lesser than this.
Yeah. These are cops.
I mean, we live in this reality. This is what happens.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it because of the movie. No, you put reality, logic in this movie, and that doesn't make any sense. The chief of police went downstairs. She asked for backup. Everybody's like, no, leave me alone. You're the chief of police. I need backup. She needs to have like 2 or 3 people next to her. Because Chris Rock comes, he has 2 or 3 people next to him.
Right.
What are we doing? She goes and gets tortured in the precinct.
Yep.
How did they let this set up?
Because some other cops, they didn't give a crap.
He was able to put a whole setup.
Banks is the only one that cared.
He was able to put a whole setup in the precinct, which made no sense. And she had a gun, and she didn't shoot forward and just light that fool up. This could have all been solved right then and there.
Yeah, it could have been solved right there. I will say, though, I think maybe the new Copycat probably was scoping that building out before he even got that job, bro. Like, he probably had some people telling him.
You really want this to work? That
That
setup sucked, bro.
Even if he was a rookie, I mean, he still could have insights. I mean, these were crooked cops.
No, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But the setup doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm not saying it does.
Why wouldn't you go and shoot forward? Why?
Oh, that I can't defend that.
It's nothing to defend.
I was talking about the Copycat.
No, that whole situation was just dumb.
Yeah.
It was like, yo, first this guy goes down a sewer well. Why? Then this guy's killing people. He goes in an abandoned building by himself in the dark and yelling. Why?
Well, they all did that. So,
Why?
Yeah, they all weren't really skilled at that point.
Why? This fool had a full setup. If you push forward, it would sever your spine. How did you set this up in the precinct?
And that wasn't the only one. He had other setups too.
Bruh. And
yeah.
All right.
That wasn't the only place.
Yeah. At this point in the movie, I'm already out. I'm just waiting to see how it plays out. What you got?
What else I got? All the other characters, kind of filler. I will say there were certain people that should have lived, and then there were specific characters that should have died. Basically, half of the precinct, and it should have only been 3: the chief, Banks, and his father, and then the rookie, of course, obviously. But the other characters were kind of disposable because they really didn't care about anything. So it's like, how are they still alive? And they're not even helping solving the case. They were kind of just tumbling around over like different crime scenes. So the whole point of them even being there, I feel like they should have been captured and tortured. And let's see how they get out of this.
Yeah.
Because the Copycat obviously didn't have a plan. He did, but he didn't. Like, for them to redeem themselves. But he had a plan to capture them and kill them. That was his plan.
Yeah.
As far as we know. And then until we get to the end. But I felt like the main 3 should have survived, though.
Samuel Jackson should have survived.
And if it was going to happen, it would have made more sense for me if Sam Jackson turned out to be the Copycat Jigsaw. Because I felt like he, out of everyone, had a lot to lose. And a reputation got destroyed, probably wanted revenge, or maybe he wanted to teach them a more valuable lesson. But again, he was a family, wholesome man, always looked out for his son. So that was motivation enough to to let people, how important it is to have each other's backs. But, for him to put them in scenarios would make sense. But he's like, what are you going to do when you don't have backup?
Yeah.
So he had the experience because he's been on the force for a long. He's been betrayed too.
Yeah.
So who's to say that he wouldn't play that game and take that further and let them know how it is to be betrayed and murdered, and not everybody have anyone solve your case when you die.
I'll say this: what saved the movie for me from getting that terrible, terrible grade of disappointment was Samuel Jackson at the end when he broke down how he captured him.
Right.
I was like, that makes sense. He said, "Let me use your phone." I remember, he's like, "Yo, hit him up." I didn't like the fact that Chris Rock didn't go look for his dad. Like, he's out here killing cops, and you just kind of like lied, like maybe he thought he was the killer. Maybe that was the case, right? But then when it came to the redemption part, when he had to confess to what happened and why William's dad was murdered,
Right.
and then he saved him,
Right.
But the redemption factor of this whole movie for me was the very end is when the SWAT team cut the line.
Right.
And they raised them up, right? And this is why I was really like, please, Lord, please don't let them just tear Samuel Jackson apart. First a shark, then snakes, then you got blown out a window in Star Wars, bro. Then you got your arm, and you got ate up by a raptor. Yeah. I don't need to see you impaled, right? I didn't want to see that one, right? Yeah. I really didn't want to see it. So thank you for not giving me that. But it was the fact that he was hanging up, and now the logic works in our society of shoot first, ask questions last. Because all he did was lift up. He didn't even have a gun.
Right.
And they just lit him up.
Yes.
So the message was there.
The nuances was there, yeah.
The message was there. And that was what saved this movie from getting a very big disappointing grade. That's the movie for me, though.
Okay.
I
see where you're going with that. The ending kind of saved the movie and the two main leads and stuff. And I just like the different angle of it. It wasn't very much a Saw movie. It was more of a detective movie. Yeah. It's disjointed, and there's very good ideas and concepts in there. And if you follow the other movies, this very much is a soft reboot. It's not even like a direct sequel. So if you had never saw those and this was an introduction, you'd be like, this is a cool concept. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they get better as they go along. But it does leave room for curiosity for more. I definitely want to see Chris Rock come back and do more. Yeah. Because his character alone and the way they set up the next installment is very interesting now, because now it's not black or white. It's just a gray area. It's like, okay, I want to see them go after these crooked cops. Yeah. But is he going to follow through with that? Like, how is he still going to maintain being the homicide detective, or is he going to be his accomplice? Because we know that Jigsaw always had an accomplice that was going out doing the investigations, going out recruiting and grabbing people, and then you had the mastermind that was setting up the traps. Because we know that the old man wasn't doing everything by himself. But this new guy is different because he could be learning as he's going, which makes sense. He's a rookie Jigsaw, but his intentions are going to get better because he's like, I'm in a position where I can just rid corruption now. I am a cop. I know how they think, but I also know how they behave too. Mm-hmm. And I know where they hang out. I know all this stuff. So it opens the playing field of like, man, I'm actually on the copycat side for the first time because, in the other
I was always on Jigsaw's side. Like,
yeah, but it gives a different dynamic because this subject matter hits because this is right now. Yeah, yeah. So it's like, dang, in the Saw movie, we're really doing that. That kind of was like, the jump of the gun.
That's the whole, when it all unraveled, it's like, okay, that's why I was here.
Cops, okay. All right, we doing that? All right.
You ready to give this movie a grade?
I'm ready, man.
Let's give this movie a grade. This movie forgive me, Spiral is going to get this grade because it had a lot of plot holes. The traps were all over the place. They didn't make sense. These are detectives. They're not rookies. They're veterans, and they did a lot of rookie moves. They were very bitter and like you said, bad for no reason. Yeah. It was like, all right, sometimes you just got to kind of get over it. And it just was in the way. But the very end of the movie was a big eye-opener for what's really going on out here. And I love the message behind it because this was a disarmed black man at the end.
Yeah. Set up in a trap.
In a warehouse. And got lit up. Yep. So they acknowledged how the streets are really targeting African-American men out there. And I like the fact that Chris Rock
Even when they're victims.
Even when they're victims. That victim playing a victim. You know, he's a victim at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
And Chris Rock acknowledged that, and I really appreciate that because that's an eye opener for. He just went like this with his arm, and they just lit him up, bro. Like,
oh my God, he's got a gun.
Like he's on ropes, man. Dude, he's on ropes.
Sprayed.
Like they sprayed it, like, you know what I mean. They didn't even shoot him in the arm, like. But anyway, I'm gonna give Spiral a C-.
Okay.
I probably would never watch it again, but because of if they do make a sequel, I will watch it watch it again to see if I catch any little Easter eggs to watch it again. So
Makes sense. Fair enough. I'm gonna just give it a straight C. It's good. Nothing more, nothing less. But I was rooting for it a little bit more, and I do want to see more. I'm open to the idea. I like that it's a soft reboot. There is still some sort of continuity because the director that did 2, 3, and 4 kind of came back, and that's always good. So he can still kind of fix his wrongs. Hopefully they just get more richer characters and stuff. The trap thing is not really a situation for me, but just give it like a believable setup.
Yeah.
And give a reason that's behind why they're trapped. Because remember, original Jigsaw always had a plan. Just go back to that.
Yeah.
I'm cool with the new Copycat, but just give them some real motivations and actual evil people to go after.
Yeah.
Not just like one-dimensional people that just like throw away. He just caught them just because they were there and they were in his vicinity. You don't have to do that.
Because it's some New Jack City shit.
But yeah, decent movie. I didn't hate it. Didn't love it. It was good, though.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the review. I'm J3.
Ronin Shogun, Ninja Assassin. Game over. Live or die. Subscribe to this channel.
If you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, thumbs up video up. Don't forget to share Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Also follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Yes.
We out.